The High Court in Pretoria is hearing a case involving a 42-year-old Brits woman who allegedly killed a family member for 1.2 million rand insurance payout and then started a romantic relationship with the investigating officer. Later, she allegedly worked with him to kill the station commander when he wouldn't drop the case. Newzroom Afrika's Mnisi is following that story for us. Linda, very good afternoon to you. There's seemingly an increase in insurance killings. Is it that this is becoming more prevalent within our communities, or are police clamping more on those that are involved?
Well, the cases, Katleho, that we're seeing in the courts are cases that would have been reported and investigated and suspects being arrested. So obviously it speaks to reporting and, of course, the prosecution then kicking off proceedings. But in this particular matter, it's a bit complex, right? Because there is a bit of a lengthy history to it. And I want you to bear with me as I try to unpack it for you. So this 42-year-old woman is allegedly said to have worked with an accomplice in, ensuring the life of a relative, a 20-year-old male. This male in March of 2021 was allegedly lured to the accomplice's home where accused number 2 and another yet to be identified person allegedly launched a vicious, what the state calls a vicious attack on the 20-year-old, stabbing him to death. The cause of death in that particular instance was noted as multiple stab wounds. The funeral was allegedly then, arranged, but the body was cremated and bricks were placed in the coffin that was allegedly presented at the funeral. An investigating officer was appointed to investigate the matter, and at a later stage, according to the state, the accused, the 42-year-old, started a romantic relationship with the investigating officer. He was allegedly paid money to sort of derail the investigations, and it was subsequently picked up by a branch commander who was, they allegedly tried to bribe that particular branch commander, but he did not close that particular docket, and that led, according to the state, to another plan to kill that branch commander, where hitmen were allegedly ordered, and this particular plan was executed. So at this point, what you have before the court is the 42-year-old woman, accused number 2, as well as the investigating officer on trial for this particular murder. We understand that at this very moment, Katla, as you and I speak, the accomplice who turned state witness has been on the stand testifying about their alleged involvement in this particular matter. She's currently facing cross-examination by the lawyer for accused number 1.
All right, Linda, certainly a very complicated case, but I mean, you spoke of the 20-year-old who was lured to the suspect's home and was eventually killed. What was the motive of that 20-year-old's murder recorded as by the police? Do you know?
Well, at this point, what is coming out of the case is that the cause of death was noted as multiple stab wounds. But of course, according to the charge sheet, they're charged with a fraud because the state is alleging that they cashed out about 1.2 million rand in insurance payout, which is among the charges that the accused are faced with. Currently, the alleged accomplice who turned state witness has been on the stand talking about the premiums that were paid in that particular matter and who exactly had been paying for it and whether or not she was employed to be able to pay for those premiums. And what she's been telling the court really is that she wasn't really, permanently employed or had a permanent job, and she, on other instances would work part-time jobs that would pay her 130 per day as and when, she attends to that particular job, but says that these premiums were paid for by accused number 1. But accused number 1, the 42-year-old Brits woman, says that she was not, paying for those premiums. In fact, at some point, she even had to sell her car because she was not aware that the premiums, or rather the policy, was still ongoing. So she's still currently facing cross-examination around the circumstances of the premiums that were paid for that particular policy that the state alleges was taken out for the first person who died in this matter.
All right, Linda Mnisi out in the High Court in Pretoria of this case of a 42-year-old Brits woman who has allegedly taken out a 1.2 million insurance payout on a family member that has been killed.